I'm coming live from my computer today, so this is the first time doing this, so I would absolutely love it if while you're hopping on, if you can say hello or I see you or I hear you, okay? I would really appreciate that. So today's topic is very, very good. It is going to be a good talk this morning. We've all been triggered. We've all been triggered at some point in our life. Every single one of us. It's human nature. And what does being triggered mean? Can anybody explain that in the comments below? What does it mean to be triggered? Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning. Perfect. So what does it mean to be triggered? Most often, it's negative when you're being triggered. So say somebody, posts something or somebody says something to you and you're kind of taken away with it like, oh, well, I don't like that. It feels icky. Or on the flip side, it's I'm going to unfriend that person, or I don't like that person. It's something that from the outside feels heavy. Okay, we're going to talk about that because we've all felt that, right? We've all felt triggered at some point in our life. So this topic stems, it's Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I have a mastermind with some very incredible high mindset people. So there's over 100 of us. We study mindset. We live and breathe it. We work on it every single day. And every Tuesday morning, we get together and we talk about a topic. And today we talked about frequency and vibration. How many of you watching this video believe that what you think about, you bring about? If you put that in the comments below. Are you of the mindset that what you think about, you bring about? Have you ever adopted or heard of that scenario? Or is this new to you? Okay, I would love to hear below in the comments. So I have been the believer of what you think about, you bring about for quite a long time. We're talking decades, okay? So I've seen it in my own life. I have seen the positive side of it and I've seen the negative side of it, okay? I've seen it work both ways, okay? So Rebecca says 100% believes in that. So a lot of what is surrounding us right now, our physical reality, typically is what's been going on the inside. So I've been studying mindset for quite a while, so I can easily help people and see people that when whatever is going on in their life, whether good or bad, I can tell how their thinking is. I can tell if their thinking is positive or if their thinking is of a negative vibration, okay? So when we talk about vibrations and frequency, everything operates on a vibration and a frequency. Think about your radio. You're tuning in to that frequency, okay? So there was at one point in my life that I operated on a very low frequency, okay? So that low frequency bred emotions like fear, guilt, jealousy, envy. All those type of emotions are from a lower frequency, right? So what do you think if you're operating on that frequency you're going to get more of, right? When you're operating from that emotional state, you're not going to channel in abundance, happiness, success, right? You have to change your frequency. Now, if you want to learn more about that, one of my mentors is Bob Proctor. So go YouTube him. Go YouTube frequency and vibration if you want to learn more about that, okay? So there's a whole slew of emotions that go with these frequency, and in order to raise your frequency and your vibration, you have to be more in line with those higher frequency vibration emotions, okay? So I have spent over $20,000 on personal development alone just this year, okay? I'm a huge believer that we always are evolving and learning and growing, okay? I am still learning and growing every single day, okay? So in order for me to go from almost bedridden, anxiety and depression, to complete contentment, happiness, and almost pretty much anxiety and depression free, I had to change my internal being, my internal state, my paradigm. Does anybody here know what a paradigm is? If you know what a paradigm is, put it in the comments below. It's how we've been wired. It's your internal belief system of yourself and your surroundings, okay? It's your perception. And it's been wired through, childhood, through external sources, social media, teachers, influencers. It's as you grow up, you are molded and your paradigm is created. The good news is that paradigm can be reprogrammed. And that's exactly how I went from stuck to free by completely reprogramming my paradigm, okay? So I've always been of the type of person that I could read people like a book, okay? Even before I got into mindset. I could read people and feel the energy if they were authentic or if they were toxic, right? I don't know if do you ever experience that? Where you meet someone and you're like, okay, hi, like I will be nice and converse with you, but there's just something that's fishy, something that's fake, something that's not quite right, right? That's your internal being, your intuition picking up on that person's energy, okay? Their vibration, their frequency, okay? You don't want to associate with that, okay? So when I first started my business almost 2 years ago, I had a friend tell me that they didn't like how I ran my business, okay? Now, and this goes back to yesterday when we talked about opinions. If I had have taken that opinion internally and took the control, what that person was looking for was control, and said, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do it this way. Okay, thanks, Brooke. Would I be where I'm at today? Absolutely not. Okay, this is where the opinions that we talked about yesterday come into play. Those opinions are operating from a different frequency than what you're on, okay? That same person, 2 years later, we are not Facebook friends. She unfriended me, okay? Something about me is triggering her, right? This is where it all comes down to. So if you can pick up on those triggers, if you're someone that gets triggered a lot, how can you turn that to your advantage to get what you want, what you're actually after? Well, that thing that's triggering you about someone is something internally that you are looking for, are seeking, are wanting, right? So if you take that trigger and operate from the higher frequency emotions, which are love, compassion, joy, instead of anger, fear, jealousy, and envy, you can take that trigger and you can do wild things, okay? That's what I did with my triggers. I wasn't always operating from this frequency. I was actually a very jealous person, a very insecure person, very fearful, okay? But I took those triggers and I analyzed them. Why did that post trigger me? And I went inward with it. Is it because she has something that I want? Maybe. Okay, so I'm going to go and I'm going to learn how to do that. Okay, I'm going to take that, I'm going to heal, and I'm going to see why I'm being triggered, and I'm going to go after that. Do you know what I mean? Take those triggers and look inward. So I have a graphic here. You can see it. Not really. So this is the vibration. So it's showing where the red is, lower vibrating emotions, and where the blue is, higher vibrating emotions. So I'm going to give you some examples here. So when you think of a higher vibration, the higher the vibration, the better the energy, the more abundance you attract. Okay? So unconditional love, empathy, forgiveness, empowerment, passion, generous, trust, enthusiasm, gratitude, courage, calm, integrity. Okay? Those are all very high frequency emotions. that will attract abundance. But then if you dip down to descending emotions and frequencies, it's just going to attract more and more of that. Okay? Sorry to say, like, it's energy attracts energy. Okay? So fear, overwhelm, insecurity, failure, hatred, doubt, depression, impatience, worry, negative self-talk, blame, sorrow, bitterness, guilt, jealousy, envy, frustration, self-pity. Okay, those are all lower vibrating emotions. The good news is you can change that. Okay, I am perfect example. I was all of those, and I went and I seeked out the higher vibrational emotions. You have to first and foremost, you have to admit or see that your external results are a reflection of your internal thinking. Okay, before you go unfriending people and sending hate messages or, gossiping and all that negativity and toxicity, you need to remember in the first place why that's happening, right? You need to figure out why the triggers are happening, okay? And not until you do that and take full ownership of where and what emotions you intentionally use each day, it's not until then that you can get that free feeling that we're all after. This only happened for me 4 years ago. I had a complete spiritual, emotional, physical overhaul when I went to Costa Rica 4 years ago. That place is magical, super spiritual. The people are super grounded, gratitude, and some of them have nothing. We went to a place we were staying at. One of the groundskeepers took us to his home and then took us to a family farm. His home was one floor. They had dirt floors. Their walls were curtains. A small little kitchen and one big bed in one room where him, his wife, and the 3 kids slept. And they were the happiest people I've ever seen. So I had a complete overhaul when I went to Costa Rica, and that is why someday I want to spend a lot of time there. I want to invest in something there, and I want to be there. Okay, they align with what I think with what we all ought to seek: contentment and happiness and freedom, right? So I wanted to just give this little foundation on frequencies and vibrations and energies. Maybe this is completely new to you and you think like, what the hell, has she lost her marbles? Or maybe you align with what I'm talking about. All I know is this is my belief system, and I've seen it work wonders in my own life, and it's changed me from anxiety, depression, jealousy, envy to complete contentment, happiness, and fulfillment. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys with that. I would love your feedback below. Go ahead and share this with someone who you feel may enjoy it after it's going up onto YouTube. So once it gets up onto YouTube, make sure you like it and subscribe it, okay? So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I hope you have a happy Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.